Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought we would talk about the Battle Pass and also kind of give my opinions on it and talk about, as well, some other stuff that I'd like to see in the future. This Battle Pass was Season 20, and as Season 20, I thought we would get some new ideas, maybe some new mechanics, some new thoughts, some new interesting stuff, and we didn't. It's basically all the same as the previous Battle Passes that we've had over the last 2 or 3 years. You get 2 vehicles, which is the new standard nowadays, you get a Gacha Box, and then also you get the decals and decorations, and what looks like an AI-generated photograph for profile picture, and then also a really nice loading screen, which is pretty cool, so at least there's that. But basically, with this new season, there was nothing new. There was nothing innovative. There was nothing interesting in terms of gameplay. Even if you have a think about the WZ-141, I think it's going to be a very fun vehicle, but it's also basically just a Type 60 SPRG with a HMG on the top of it. So, you know, it's really not going to play that differently. It's just going to be in a different tech tree. And then you get a B25, which is basically just a B25, but for France. So it means that you'll be able to do dailies and specials a little bit easier and get through the early grind a bit easier. But in terms of like interest, basically all of these things I feel like are not really too interesting. The WZ is obviously a bit more interesting, and also it being a premium is really nice, but it's not going to make a huge splash when it comes to the game. And the battle trophy, with past vehicles, the Zippo, the Cadiz, the Turan 2, and the Mirsky. Wow, that's pretty rough in terms of what's there. And the major thing is, as I said, is War Thunder itself hasn't really massively innovated in a long time when it comes to the Battle Pass, but it has innovated in other areas of the game. The profile has been upgraded, and it's slowly but surely getting to a point where it's better than the old profile. I don't think it's there yet, but it is getting there. We're more than half a year basically away from that, probably, with the next few updates coming out. Maybe we'll get some more improvements to it. But an area that I think when it comes to the Battle Pass, and also when it comes to just general events that could massively improve, is the Hangar. Now that they're actually working heavily on the customization side of the profile, hopefully they can focus on the customization of other areas. When it comes to games like War Thunder in the free-to-play genre, it is very much important to keep adding content to them, but also to add avenues of monetization and customization, because that's how people are able to kind of show who they are. One of the games I've been playing recently, which just came out in early access, is a game called Ground of Aces. Ground of Aces is a World War II airfield building simulator, basically. So what you do is you plan out where you want to put all of your different stuff, you build the airfields, you buy the aircraft, and you send them out on missions. And if you're successful in those missions, you get victory points, which then you can use to be able to purchase other planes and then just keep growing and growing. I've really enjoyed it. It's been super fun. It's also one of those games which has been kind of in development for a long time and isn't finished. Since it's in early access, they have a big roadmap and they're going to add a bunch of other stuff to it, and I can't wait until they add like historical missions and stuff like that. But the thing about Ground of Aces is it made me once again start thinking about War Thunder and the opportunities that War Thunder has in terms of improving some of its aspects. One of those aspects that would be really cool to see is hangar improvements. Maybe you could change the way that the hangar looks. Maybe you could change the actual historic setting. Would you like a World War I kind of airfield? Would you like a World War II one? Maybe a Cold War one? Maybe a modern day one? And then maybe you could artificially or individually change the vehicles that are sat around the place without having to use a user hangar. Because remember, user hangars are only for PC guys. Console guys don't get access to user hangars, which sucks, and therefore should be either changed or be able to make it so you can swap which type of hangar that you want. The other thing is the hangar is kind of separate to the rest of the game on how it loads when it comes to War Thunder, so I feel like these types of changes they could probably do quite easily. And also with the idea of test drives, I've always liked the way that some other games have done the test drives, where basically you spawn and it spawns you into the hangar and then boom, you're there to go. I think it would be really cool if Gaijin could do something like that. But with playing Ground of Aces and also with looking at the Battle Pass, the way that I'm seeing it when it comes to War Thunder is you marry the two ideas together and you make something fantastic. You add customization into the hangar. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could literally just be like, you can change a flag somewhere. You can add some decals. You can add some decorations, which you can grind through the Battle Pass. Just like how you have the profile backgrounds now, which turn up in certain events, and then also additions to the profile too, such as titles and also the profile pictures. There's no reason why, when it comes to the hangar, you wouldn't be able to do similar stuff. You could even have an award area, which is something we've talked about previously, where it shows you all of the different events that you have completed over the years. And that is something that in the profile you've never really been able to see. And I know it's tracked because they can literally track it through the vehicles or literally track it through if you actually played during that time. The data exists as always. You could even have like a little squadron area where it kind of shows you all of the different stuff that your squadron has done over the years too, so you can kind of have a bit of fun with that. But the major thing is customization. As these free-to-play games get older, their shift focuses. So with War Thunder, one of the issues that we're running into over like maybe the last year or 2 years is not the fact that there is no more vehicles to add to the game. There's plenty of more vehicles to add to the game, and there will be going on for at least a decade or two. The problem is the interest in those vehicles, and this is what I've been talking about over like the last year. You can keep adding Hornets, but when does it get to a point where people don't want to play the Hornet anymore? You have 2 in the standard tech tree for America. You have 1 in the German tech tree. You also now have 2 in the Finnish part of the Swedish tech tree. So that's 5 of them without even looking at the premiums, and there are many more that they can add in the future as well if they wanted to. And do you think people are going to want to grind out 5 of basically the same vehicle, especially when the matchmaking when you are in a stock vehicle is terrible? So this creates a negative perception. And it should, because it's not very fun at the end of the day. As somebody who has spaded all of the M60s in the game, somebody who's spaded basically all of the SPGs in the game, there are some which just aren't enjoyable because of either their stock grind or other factors that make them not fit the game. So with the Battle Pass, which is something that you do alongside grinding, and also with other customization elements, you can take the thought off the grind and put it onto the customization and the Battle Pass stuff. And that's what a lot of free-to-play games do. They just focus once the core gameplay is sorted, which when it comes to War Thunder, you know, we're always talking about, is the core gameplay of War Thunder good? Is it bad? Is it okay? Is it not okay? Should it be changed? Should they try and change the game modes? But the ground part and also the air part has been changed and modified a little bit, but the core essence of the game hasn't moved, and the game is still rising in popularity. There's still a lot of people playing it. People really enjoy it, right? Now, could they improve it? Yes, of course, and I'm sure in the future they will, or hopefully they will, because there's a lot of people with some interesting ideas in the community that I would like to at least see tried. Now, in terms of that is kind of stuck and stapled, right? It's cemented into the ground. But the area which isn't is the customization part. And that's where free-to-play games get really interesting, because if you can start customizing a bunch of different stuff, that's actually really fun. Enlisted, for example, has customizations for all of their different troops. So you can change like their outfits, you can change what they look like, and you can even do it down to the minutiae. Much more heavy kind of customization compared to what War Thunder has. They could also in War Thunder add something like avatars, where they kind of stand in the hangar and then you can change them, like customize them with stuff from the Battle Pass, and basically make them a living thing in the game which represents your vehicles. That would also be something that would be really cool, but that would probably be for later on. The major point is the Battle Pass right now is dull. And War Thunder has a bit of a problem with that, not just from a Battle Pass point of view, but also from an update point of view, where they add a bunch of really interesting stuff, But once that interesting stuff kind of dies away in terms of the chat, a lot of people come out and are very negative about this stuff because of all of the copy paste stuff that comes along with it, especially with these subtrees coming in, where a lot of it is going to just be kind of copy paste and dull for the average person, because they're never going to play it and they're not interested in it. So in order to conquer that, the kind of discussions have to change. And the way to do that is to add in more content in different areas to get people interested and hyped about it. And this is easily one of the ways they could do that, and also revitalize the Battle Pass and many other areas of the game that people don't really focus on. Let me know what you would like to see in the game in terms of customizations, and how would you change the hangar. I definitely would love to see some options to customize it. That to me is the next big thing for War Thunder in terms of the game. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.